some of the CO2 lasers that you see me do with these dramatic results, that's just one treatment. But I don't show you, the whole show, right? I don't show you the in between where you have open skin and, you're down for 7 days.
And you scare small children.
And you scare small children. But I promise the results are worth it. Welcome to the More Than a Pretty Face podcast, where we go more than just skin deep to explore the science of beauty so you can look your best at any age. I'm Dr. Azi and Nurse Lacie, a board-certified dermatologist, and I practice in San Diego. I specialize in surgical and cosmetic dermatology. I'm here today with my co-host, Nurse Lacie.
Hello.
She's actually my real nurse in real life.
In real life.
So.
Okay, you guys, this episode is inspired by Vera Wang, who claims her anti-aging secret is, get this, eating McDonald's 2 times a week, splurging on some Dunkin' Donuts, working, sleeping, having a vodka cocktail, and, not much sun.
Well, she looks fabulous.
What do you think?
But, she is, have you seen the color of her skin? She is so fair. And I think one of the biggest secrets she's not really revealing is very limited sun exposure.
Yes.
Actually, I want to check her vitamin D level because, McDonald's and donuts.
Oh.
But she's got great skin. And, part of that's probably her genes. She's that Asian genetics. She just has really good genes. But I was reading the article, and I think the other aspect is that she leads such an active lifestyle. And she even says herself that the key to, reversing age or anti-aging, I hate the word anti-aging, but defying your age is to stay active. And so she, works all the time. She's, up on the trends, and she just has so much this very energetic vibe about her. And I think that probably does keep you, feeling young, because I don't know what it is. It's like people are just terrified of aging. I think aging is a privilege.
It's a privilege.
We all sit here and complain about I got the jowls and my skin's loose, and just be happy you're actually aging.
I think we just want to do it gracefully.
It's true. Right? Yes. And
we want to age, but
maybe those McDonald's burgers have growth hormone.
I need to know what she's ordering from McDonald's, because maybe I'll have to go back to McDonald's.
Well, she says she eats McDonald's sometimes every day for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know how anyone can age gracefully.
I think she's getting her growth hormones from the. I have this theory that a lot of the fast foods, they're from cows or animal stock that have been are being injected with growth hormones.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's my theory. It's not based on any
We could
type
go
of
down
science
a whole other rabbit hole with that
when
one.
I have In-N-Out on a late night, that's how I justify it. I'm getting my growth hormone.
Yes.
Hopefully not growing the other way.
Yeah, let's not grow that way. So let's talk today about pillow face and peanut head.
Wait, those are complete opposites.
Why don't you tell them what peanut head is?
Well, peanut head is what happens to a lot of us as we age. What happens is we lose volume in our temple, and it gets kind of sunk in, and it looks like a peanut shape. If you can imagine, your temples kind of concaving in. That's one of the essential fat pads that we lose, is right there. And it connects you, to the brows. So if you look at your photos, back when you were 20, or even 15, look at your brows and your temples. See how full they were.
Yes.
And you have this continuous arch that's rounded from your forehead down to your cheek without any disruption. The opposite of peanuts.
Yes. You know when I learned of peanut head?
Yeah.
When you told me I had one.
Oh.
So thank you for filling that.
Peanut head. But look at you now. You're like a perfect almond. Which almonds, by the way, really key for anti-aging.
Yes,
I
yes.
eat a handful of almonds every day.
Oh,
Loads
really?
of antioxidants, calcium,
Plain
good
or flavored?
protein, salty.
Salty.
Yeah, that's my vice. Anyway, I digress.
Okay, Kentucky.
Enough nuts in the better get the nuts out of the talk, out of the chat. I mean, Okay. So do you have a beauty and a blemish?
Of
Because I'm really excited
course.
about mine.
I'm actually gonna do a blemish
Okay,
today.
a blemish. All right.
And it's not mine, but it's one I wanna talk about. So Tasha, our PA, she
Yeah.
had a patient in this week,
Uh-huh.
and she had a scab on her lip. So
Oh, I thought
this
you were gonna say
poor
it's like,
girl, she wanted to plump her lips. So guess what she did? Because
gotta.
TikTok told her,
Uh-oh, I'm scared.
she took an eyelash curler
Oh no, I've seen
and
that.
tried to plump her lips.
Oh,
And
come
she pinched
on.
herself. She had a huge scab. Not what she was going for, I'm
No,
sure.
these things go so viral. And then next thing you know, like a few influencers start doing them, and then more and
Mhm.
more people doing it. We're so obsessed with like
So obsessed.
getting these quick fixes. So I guess so how does that work even, right? Because you're just causing injury
Right.
that's causing your lip to swell,
Mhm.
which is temporary, guys.
Very temporary unless you cause damage.
And over time, that chronic trauma to your lip could potentially scar your lip.
Mhm.
And just don't.
It's a pout plump for
Honestly,
me.
yeah, the pout plump. I was actually gonna apply it and show you guys on air how you can literally get a filler of syringe, a 1 syringe of filler in your lips with this pout plump. Every time I wear it, people are like, you just injected your lips, and what did you do to your lips?" And,
Mhm.
you
It's
know,
drastic.
it's pretty dramatic. It
Yeah.
looks like you just had 1 syringe of Juvederm. So I'm gonna show you guys on this
Yes.
episode. Well, hopefully that was a good lesson learned and sounds really painful, so hopefully they won't be doing that again.
It's just crazy with the toothpaste and the cupping
Oh,
and
and the
the
gluing, have you
oh
seen
my gosh,
that?
and the
Yeah,
gluing.
that looks really
I
dangerous.
still don't understand how they cover that when they try to glue and then they put makeup over. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't
Good
look
job.
very good. It looks like they have, like, a cleft lip or something that got repaired. I don't know.
Oh, here's a
Okay,
hand.
we got thank you, Carissa, to the rescue. Okay, guys.
For
So
crawling in.
I have lipstick on, but I love this gloss because it's clear,
Mhm.
and it's just formulated with a little bit of natural peppermint oil, and it has
And
SPF. So
the
our
most
Platform
important,
30. So, okay, we're gonna just watch my lips.
just don't kiss babies with this on. I learned the hard way.
Yeah, don't do that. I gotta get a little bit more in here. And so, give it a few minutes. And I already have, like, a big nose, big eyes, and, like, big lips just to go along with it. So, okay, did I smear it? I can't
No, it looks good.
it's probably, like, off my lips. I don't have a mirror. I need, like, a
No,
phone or
no, it
something.
looks good.
Okay, so speaking of blemishes, I have a beauty today, which I'm so excited to tell you about. But I had a patient who came in,
Yes.
and Mia, our MA, was like, "Doc, this person is really tan. She looks like I don't know, she looks orange, like a bad tan spray." But I asked her, and she said
Like Trump?
well, yeah, yeah, like Trump.
Okay.
And so she's like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to laser her because I'm very particular about
Yes.
lasering tan skin. It's
Yes.
very high risk. So I go and I look at her palms, and they are orange. And I'm like, what's going on? You don't have a spray tan, you haven't been tanning. Have you been eating a lot of carrots?
What?
Yeah. She had keratoderma,
What?
carotenemia,
English, please.
carotenemia. So,
She
okay,
overate carrots, and this was
if
her
you
side
eat
effect.
a lot of foods that are rich in beta carotene, you're gonna get an orange complexion because that gets deposited in your skin
Okay.
as well as, other areas of your body, and you could eventually get like vitamin A toxicity. So there's even supplements. So she was actually taking a supplement, canthaxanthin.
So wait, she was doing this on purpose. It wasn't an accident. She didn't like
Right.
OD on
Right. Yeah.
carrots on
Yeah. No,
accident.
she heard that if you have a lot of carrots, you can get a natural tan. And then she had bought these supplements that also are known as the tanning pill, right?
Oh gosh.
But you have to be really careful because it could affect your eyesight. I mean, you need vitamin A, right?
Yeah.
So beta carotene is a precursor for vitamin A, but too much of it can actually damage your retina.
Everything in
So be
moderation.
careful with that. We were still able to laser her because it wasn't melanin, because that's what we worry about with
Mhm.
lasers. It was beta carotene. But yeah, so another fun social media trend.
Yeah. So another trend I've seen on TikTok are moms breaking up the gel Advil and applying it to their under eye to reduce puffiness.
Guys, it's not, it's a different organ. The skin, taking it by mouth, you cannot apply what you're taking and that's intended for systemic effects.
Literally.
To apply it to your skin. I mean, you could just use iGlow PM. I mean, that reduces puffiness along with treating dark circles and lines and it's the caffeine. If you're going to do something, you're trying to save money. Okay, put like black tea compresses on your under eyes. Don't do the Advil. So speaking of iGlow PM, Azi MD Skincare, we have a special offer for our podcast listeners.
Yay!
Yay. In fact, our team went a little overboard, actually. They were so generous for this holiday season. There are 3 things you need to know. Now through December 31st, you can use the code WRAPPED15 to get 15% off individual products at AziMDskincare.com. In addition, from December 1 to December 25th, we're offering an extra 10% off of all regimens and duos, which are the perfect gift because they come with a cosmetic bag, which is so cute. Even better, get free shipping for US customers from December 11th through the 15th. It's going to be a really joyous holiday. So no
That is
excuses.
huge.
Don't use Advil, please.
That's huge, but you didn't even say the cutest part.
Oh, really? What's that?
The ornaments.
Oh, yeah. Those are so cute.
They're so cute. It comes with
I
a mini
love
purify
them.
cleanser, a mini glow serum, which is my favorite serum,
It comes in this little
and
box.
a mini intense recovery in
So
this
cute.
adorable box. Like,
Should I show
the
them?
cutest
I'm going to
gift.
show them because it's really cute, guys.
Okay.
The team has worked so hard this season. I'm so proud of them. They're so creative and they have worked endlessly to put these together. So check it out. How cute would this be hanging on the tree?
Yes. And you guys, if you're just listening to the podcast and not watching the video, go to AziMDskincare.com and check out these ornaments.
They're so cute. I love them. Thanks for reminding me.
Yes.
By the way, how are the lips?
Oh, they look great. They're so much bigger.
They're not looking like they're going to explode, right?
No,
Okay,
no, they're perfect.
Okay, because I can't wait to see the comments. People love to be so nice. this time of
Yes.
year. Okay, my beauty. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Okay, you won't believe what came in the mail. I
Tell
haven't even
us.
opened it, so I'm going to open it actually on the show. Da-da-da!
Ah!
Woohoo!
Okay, what is it? Open
I
it,
don't
open
know.
it,
What
open
do
it.
you think it is? I have a, here we go. It says your 100,000 subscriber.
What? Woo!
Is
Oh
the
my gosh,
team.
this is so cute.
Yes. And so it is it's called a Silver Creator Award.
OMG.
Look at that. Skin by Dr. Azi.
That's the
I think my team is more
cutest.
excited. Because they really work so hard behind the scenes. I'm so
Yes.
grateful. I mean, this is really as a result of not just me, but an entire team of people. So, and you guys,
Yes.
you guys have really supported me and I'm so grateful. And this is really exciting because it's a lot of work. I don't think people realize how much of my life I give up to create content.
Yes.
And so it's very rewarding to receive this. So thank you, YouTube, and thank you to the audience for your support and subscriptionship. So what are we getting into now?
We are getting into Ask Dr. Azi, where our listeners send us questions for you to answer. Are you ready?
I love this part. I love answering questions.
So the first question says, "Hi, Dr. Azi. I'm getting older. I am noticing deeper lines around my mouth and hollows under my eyes. I would like to get filler, but I'm terrified of pillow face. How can I avoid this? And should there be a regular schedule of getting filler dissolved over the years?"
Those are really good questions. Don't be scared, but go to somebody who is really well trained, has the experience, but more importantly, has your best interests at heart and not your wallet's best
Yes.
interests, right? Because there are definitely ways to incorporate fillers into your anti-aging journey where it looks completely natural. A lot of people you see out there and you think, well, they are so natural. They haven't had any work done.
Mhm.
People like J-Lo and Salma Hayek. And I'm not their doctor. I'm not assuming anything, but a lot of these people have had fillers and lasers and all kinds of in-office procedures, but the right way. And
Yes.
it doesn't have to, break the bank either. You don't have to go in for filler every 6 months. I don't know why people feel that once you start fillers, you have to keep going. And that's why the cost becomes an issue because they don't want to keep up with the maintenance. That is no longer true. We used to think that fillers disappeared after a year, 2 years, but now we know that they actually last way longer than we realize. So pillow
Yes.
face, what happens is you get this doughy,
Like Courtney
swollen.
Cox.
Yeah, at some point, you see her photo where she looks just like she's just been
Disfigured almost.
filled with like a balloon, right? All the contours in her face are gone and her cheeks go all the way up to the eyelids, so that's just overfilling and filling with hyaluronic acid that is pro-inflammatory. So if you're in there every 6 months getting injected, as these hyaluronic acid fillers break down, they cause an inflammatory reaction, right? And that pro-inflammatory reaction can cause swelling and inflammation and all those things. So there are certain fillers that are more stable, that are bigger, that don't break down as quickly. And so, it's something you may do as needed. So if you're noticing, for example, she said she notices hollowness under
Mhm.
her eyes,
Creases around the mouth.
creases around the mouth. And as we talked about earlier, when people talk about these smile lines,
Mhm.
there's a lot happening in there. There's, bone loss, there's tissue loss, there's, fat loss. And so you don't want to just go in and fill this line, right? You want to add support and structure above that area where your fat pads have shrunk.
Maybe
So
fill your, peanut temples
yeah.
too.
Yeah, to give your lateral brow some support because that's what happens with the peanut, peanut face is you lose that support, that structure that used to be there in the temples.
I think
So
a lot of times people go consistently or have that thought process of going every 6 months or every, how regular they're going because a lot of them are going to and not to bash anyone, but going to med spas where they do want you to come in on a regular basis and they do wanna fill more than just one location at a time with multiple syringes because, again, it goes back to their wallet, like, the
w
more they sell
well,
and
I'm glad you
fill.
said it and not me. Because I don't wanna dig myself in a
Yeah.
hole here,
I can.
but, companies that make these fillers, and I'm not gonna name any names, but
Mhm.
what did they do, 20 years ago when these fillers came on the market? They went out and trained anybody
Every
and
and anyone.
everybody and told them, based on their studies, because their studies only lasted 6 months or only lasted 1 year, right? So they said the filler only lasted this long, and they trained them to get the filler in, have them come back for filler every 6 months, every year. And next thing you know, a decade later, we have pillow faces
Yep.
on our hands. And
Yep.
now we're dissolving all these fillers because people have no contour. And I notice this with people too. They come in and they're like, well, I have, hollowness. I'm like, you don't have hollowness. You have a demarcation,
Mhm.
right? Where
Like a
the
child.
eyelid skin, is different than the cheek skin. We're not going to be able to give you just what you see online is just good lighting or good filters. And
Mhm.
so I think it's really important to go to somebody who's really trained and knows what they're doing. There are some fillers like lip filler, for example. I will say after a few sessions of that over the years, and as you get older, as you lose collagen, your skin becomes more, lax. And
Mhm.
so it is pretty common to have those fillers dissolved at some point. I personally have had my lip
Mhm.
filler dissolved because, again, over time, with so many syringes of filler, it just starts moving out
Migrates.
of the
Mhm.
lip and gets into the surrounding tissue. And that's because you're sitting there, you're talking, right?
Right.
You're moving. So that's proof right there that the filler didn't just go away. It was still there years later.
Yeah.
So yeah, be conservative. choose the right filler for the right location.
My question is like once you get pillow face and then you do start dissolving, I feel like with pillow face, it's almost like your skin has changed as well. So
That
can you
to
ever
Yeah,
really fix pillow face?
it becomes really complicated,
Yeah.
and you really have to do it strategically, and you have to be prepared to look worse before you look better. And I know a lot of plastic surgeons too, they'll go in and they'll dissolve all the filler
Mhm.
before they'll do their facelift just because they want the skin to get back to baseline. So yeah, I think, don't just rely on injectables either. Remember, fillers and fat grafting is only good to replace volume, okay? So don't think of it as lifting, the face or pulling, the skin up with fillers. People say,
Yes.
"Oh, if you fill here, you're gonna get lifting here." That's not necessarily true. And then also, put in some lasers, some injectables, some microneedling, some other treatments so that you're not just relying on
Yeah.
injectables.
All right. Great question. So our next one is from Hey Kimberly. And she writes, I love listening to the podcast. Thank you. My question is about crepey skin on the hands. My hands look so old at 45. I was a teenage lifeguard and always in the sun. Now I'm 45. I was smart enough to always protect my face, but is there anything to help for crepey hands?
They say you look at your hands more than your face.
Mhm.
And I know people come in and they're, spending a lot of time and energy and money on their face, but they
Mhm.
forget their hands, their
Neck
necks, their
and chest.
décolleté, their
Yes.
earlobes. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
just mention that because they should all be addressed. So some of
Mhm.
my favorite things, obviously she said sun protection, so that's like a gimmick,
Yeah,
right?
number 1.
But whenever I apply my skincare on my face, I don't just stop there. I also
Mm-mm.
apply it to my neck, my chest, my earlobes, and my hands. You see the same benefits in these other skin areas. But one of my favorite treatments are the non-ablative resurfacing treatments like the halo laser or the Fraxel laser. It just
Mhm.
does such a nice job of smoothing the surface of the hands. Now, some people also lose a lot of volume. So, turning back the hands of time, we want to replace some of that volume that gets lost because it makes the veins look less noticeable. It gives you that plumpness that gives you almost like a lift,
Yeah.
to the hands. And so I love using Restylane Lift or Radiesse for the hands. Sometimes I'll combine the two and even throw in some PRP in there.
Mhm.
And, the other thing is when you're driving, I like to keep some gloves in the car, or you're going to get your nails done under a UV lamp, those gel manicures.
Yes.
It's always better to protect your skin with a cover as opposed to just sunscreen because sunscreen, it's not going to block out all the rays. So
I
I
saw your
really
video
favor,
about
yeah,
that the other
those.
day.
And I do notice that and forget, okay, skin cancer too. Okay, forget
Yes.
aging, but I do see a lot of squamous cell skin cancers, particularly in women that, are going in for these gel manicures like every
Mhm.
3 weeks. Think of every 3 weeks over 20 years, 30 years. It adds up. I mean, we know that some of the studies do show that it damages the genetics of your skin cells. So just be aware of that. I'm not saying, don't do it at all because I do love my gel manicures too. But, so those are some things that we've seen really good results with in the office.
Yes. Now, I know, this might be a popular question. When we say hands, you're including the fingers, right?
I think that's part of your hand.
But I mean, like, you can't really put filler in your fingers,
No,
right?
no,
So,
you're the back of your hand.
yeah.
Turning back the hands of time.
Okay. Okay,
I
just
don't know,
clarifying.
just clarifying,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No fillers in your fingers, guys. Stay
Unless you
away
want
from
them
that,
longer.
unless you want to, if you wanna lose a finger, put some filler in there. I don't think anybody wants to do that.
No,
But,
maybe not. Maybe, there's weird people out
I
there.
will say, I'm constantly using an alcohol hand sanitizer throughout the day. Dry
Drying.
skin makes your hands look 30 years older, I swear.
Yes.
If you slug it, so if you're gonna slug your face, if you apply a Vaseline or Aquaphor, a few times a week to your hands and your cuticles and your fingertips, and you sleep with that overnight, game changer for me.
Yes, I will say.
And that's called slugging for those of you who may not be aware. That's when you use a heavy occlusive overnight to prevent water loss and you wake up with more hydrated, more plump,
Yeah, a couple
appearance.
episodes back, you were talking about slugging on the hands, and I did that.
Yeah,
Total game changer.
it works so great. I put it on my nightstand so I don't forget.
Yeah, I love that.
Pro tip.
Our last question. Hi, Dr. Azi. I'm obsessed with watching your laser videos on social media. I'm 43 and I've been considering doing radio frequency microneedling, especially after seeing you use the Exelis Ultra 360. However, I saw a creator who got scarred from Morpheus 8 and now I'm scared. You can see the marks from the machine on her face. Is this safe? And how did this happen to her? Also, can you explain the difference between this and alt therapy? Thank
Okay,
you.
scarred and scared. Well, that's unfortunate, but I'll tell you, you can have complications from any device, even in the best
Any
of
treatment.
hands, any treatment, lasers, light, and energy devices. I always say it's not necessarily the machine, but the operator.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's just bad luck or whatnot. So, Morpheus 8, I'm not a huge fan of this device. Okay. We demoed it in our
Yes.
office.
Your neck with no numbing cream.
So,
Insane.
yeah, Morpheus 8 is painful. I can
Mhm.
I can tell you that. But it's like taking a set of needles that are really hot and sticking in the skin. Because radio frequency is what the Morpheus uses, and it generates heat,
Mhm.
and the heat injures the skin, and then your skin goes into repair mode. And as it's repairing your skin, it's stimulating collagen. And then the microneedling portion is designed to help with texture. So, that's what Morpheus 8 is. Now, therapy is using ultrasound to deliver energy, again, heat to specific areas or layers of the skin to, again, get it to remodel. I think they're both painful. I don't favor either one of them because I do think that they can potentially melt your natural fat,
Yeah.
and they are highly operator dependent. And, that's why we in our office, we have microneedling and we have radio frequency. So I have the Exelis, and the reason I like that device is because I don't think it can do harm. A lot of these energy devices, because they are using heat, could potentially also melt your fat, but the Exelis just can't penetrate deep enough. It's very superficial.
Mhm.
The reason I find it to be safe and the reason I do it myself.
Right.
Now, it may not work miracles, but people do see some nice results after a few months because it takes a few months for your skin to really regenerate that collagen and that structure. Now, the videos that you're probably seeing me do in the office, those are lasers, particularly
Mhm.
the CO2 laser. It's so satisfying to watch.
Yes.
And I love watching it in real life
Uh-huh. Our
because
laser
in
queen.
real life, you really see the skin pull tight and
Mhm.
shrink and but that uses laser. The laser cannot penetrate down deep enough to the level of the fat. I hear people say yesterday I was talking to a girlfriend and she was like, "That's why I don't want to do any of those lasers because they melt your fat
And your fillers.
in your fillers."
Mhm.
False. Lasers by definition are wavelengths of light.
Mhm.
Whereas radio frequency, therapy, Morpheus 8, those are energy devices. So they use heat, right? And they skip the surface of the skin and they penetrate deeper into the skin. So it's really important to understand the two technologies and why lasers, they can only penetrate, maybe into the deep dermis,
Mhm.
but that's it. They can't go beneath the deep dermis into the fat.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I love listening to your explanation, and I feel like patients really need to have or, people in general need to have a better understanding that just because you see somebody do something online doesn't mean it's best for you or what your concerns are, and that's why it's so important to find a board-certified dermatologist like Dr. Ozzy that can actually sit down with you and educate you and go over what the best treatment options would be for your concerns.
Yeah, and there are some lasers that generate more heat than others, but there is the right treatment for everybody. It just
Yeah.
depends on your skin type, expectations, and downtime. Like some of the CO2 lasers that you see me do with these dramatic results, that's just one treatment. But I don't show you, the whole show, right? I don't show you the in between
Mhm.
where you have open skin and, you're down for 7 days.
And you
And so
scare small
and
children.
you scare small children, but I promise the results are worth it.
Yes.
Because laser resurfacing to me is true regeneration of your skin. It's like reptiles, you know how they lose their
Yeah.
tail and they grow a new one? Well, you lose your skin and then you
Yeah,
grow new skin that's
yeah.
like healthy, smooth, and we know that it also helps with skin cancers and precancers and just makes the quality of your skin better. Whenever I see somebody that comes in and usually the dead giveaway is like their chest, like their face looks 20 years younger than their chest, and they have all these precancers and weathering everywhere else except their face, and I say, "Did you have laser resurfacing like 10, 20 years ago?" "Yes, I had the CO2 and it
Yep.
was the best thing ever." And I was like, "Uh-huh, I can tell," because the quality of their skin is
Mhm.
so much better, and when
Yeah.
people ask, "Well, how long does this last?" It's forever. I mean, you just kinda set your time back a little bit. You go back to aging,
Right.
but you can
Yeah.
reverse the clock a little bit.
Yeah, and protect your investment with
Yeah.
sunscreen and Retin-A.
Well, this was really fun, you guys. Thanks for joining in. I just wanna say how appreciative I am of your listenership and your subscriptionship. So if you guys have questions, I love to hear from you. You can email us at morethanaprettyface podcast@gmail.com. Check us out on Instagram. We have a page dedicated to More Than a Pretty Face.
Mhm.
Share this with your friends because sharing is caring, and it's because of your listenership that the podcast continues to be produced. So until next time, happy holidays, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.